All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Well, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all my amazing GWT friends. This is Anne-Marie Chantal, diplomat with your favorite, fastest growing designer fashion house, Global Wealth Trade. Thank you very much for being on the call today. This is our weekly not tour, our weekly training calls. And I'm very excited to have today um, all of us here to share about the road to success. So today, first of all, I want to thank you for being on the call. Lots of people want to be successful, but they don't take the time to learn how to do that. So the number one thing that it takes to be successful, lots of people would say that it's knowledge. Knowledge will give you success. But that's actually incorrect. Knowledge is step one. Now, step two is action, right? So you can have all the knowledge. If you don't take any action, you have no success. So really, the saying should be more like apply knowledge and give you success. So you need to be able to use the knowledge, and that's what I'm going to do today, is give you some knowledge about the GWT hottest script so you can actually use to get better results. Now, only when you practice at something, you can become good at it, right? So if you have the knowledge, you go out and you practice and then become good, right? So I want to say, first of all, I'm very proud of you for taking, the first step, which is being on the call and learn. So today I'll share with you about scripts, and the scripts that are the reason you can be successful in a guarantee way. I like to say that scripts are like a roadmap, like your GPS, right? You can try to get from point A to point B, but if you don't know where you're going, how do you expect to get there? So with a GPS system, you'll get there much faster. And today I'll show you how to get there as well. Just like basically your GWT GPS is a script. Now, the more you memorize scripts and the more you use the scripts, the more successful you'd be. Renee Liao actually has recorded some amazing script, so you might want to take a look at it on ourgwt.com. So that's ourgwt.com. Now, another one, when I started to follow Eric Worre and receive his hottest recruiting script, I thought I should share it with you as well, as it did amazing for many people in our industry, in our profession, including myself. Now, a little bit of background for those of you who don't know who Eric is. He has actually a website called networkmarketingpro.com. And in that website, well, first of all, Eric himself made millions and millions of dollars in the network marketing. And what I really like about Eric is that on his website, he actually has over 1,000 different videos to train you on the profession of network marketing. And they are all free. So you can get all the video trainings. He has video on, he's interviewed millionaires. He does yearly seminars to help people in the profession, which I've been now twice, and I'm going again in November. Great seminar to learn. And not only that, Eric is actually a master recruiter. He's created the MLM scripts that many members of GWT are using, including myself. And we've noticed that the people that are using his scripts are getting great results. So I encourage you to use it, and it will help you build your own business, right? So let's go through the scripts, and I'll relate it to GWT as well. So first of all, there's 8 steps in the manual, and it's important to follow them all, and steps in order to have the system. So like I said, the GPS, this is like your GPS. So I'll teach you the 8-step system that works here. So step number 1 is to be in a hurry. That's the psychology behind it, because people are always more attracted to a person who's busy, that are going places, that are doing things. So if you start every call or your face-to-face conversation with the feeling that you're in a hurry, you'll find your invitation will be way shorter, and people will have less question, and they will respect your time, and vice versa, right? So here are some in a hurry scripts example. So for the warm market, so here we're going to talk about 2 different types of market. So there's the warm market. So that's the people that you know very, very well. And there's the cold market. So that's the people you know a lot less, right? You just met type idea. So for your warm market, to be in a hurry, you can say, hi, I don't have much time to talk right now, but it's very important that I reach you. Or I have a million things on the go, but I'm glad I caught you. Or I'm running out the door, but I need to talk to you very quickly, right? So that's something you can start, step 1, with your warm market. Now, with the cold market prospect, you can say, now isn't the time to get into this, and I have to go, but, right? Or I have to run, but you get the message here, I'm sure, right? So you want to create that urgency. Now, the step 2 is to compliment your prospect. Now, this is really, really crucial, because first of all, you want to be sincere with your compliment. Because if you're not sincere, it will show right away. And that will open the doors to a real communication, and will make the prospect much more agreeable to hearing what you have to say. So here's some example of a compliment. So again, for the warm market, you can say, you've been wildly successful, and I've always respected the way you've done business, right? Or you've always been so supportive of me, and I appreciate that so much. Or you're one of the most connected people I know, and I've always admired that of you. You're the most, or one of the most, important person in my life, and I really trust your instinct. You have an amazing mind for business and can see things other people don't see. I was thinking, who are the sharpest people I know? And guess what? I thought of you. Or you're one of the most positive and energetic people or person I've ever met, right? Other ones here, some other examples. Some people are very close-minded, which limit their opportunity, but I've always admired the fact that you've always been open to looking at new things. Or I need someone to find holes in something I'm looking at, and absolutely nothing get past you. I love this one for anybody who's negative, right? You're one of the most, savvy, and here with GWT, you're one of the most fashionable. You love the fashion. You're always so sharp, and I know I've always respect that of you, right? You're one of the smartest people I know, and I really trust your judgment. Or for as long as I've known you, I've thought you were the best at what you do. So those are just some examples of how to give a compliment to somebody you know very well. So it has to be sincere. Now for the cold market, you can say something, you give me some of the best service I've ever received, right? Like let's say for a waitress or anybody, right? You're super sharp. Can I ask you what you do for a living? Or you made this service a fantastic experience. You met this evening or this networking event, one of the best experience ever, right? The key to the compliment, it must be sincere. Find something you can really compliment your prospect on, and then do it. So step number 3 is how to make the invitation. So in a situation it's a situation that one side doesn't fit all. here they've provided you a list of direct approach, which you will use when you're talking about an opportunity for them specifically. There's the indirect approach, which you will use to ask for help or advice. And then there's the super indirect approach, which you will use to ask people if they know other people who might be interested in what you have to offer. Now, most people use the direct approach for all the prospects. Usually it goes something like, I find a way to get rich and let me tell you all about it, blah, 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 right? Now, I understand the passion, but really, who's going to get excited about that? Unless they're really getting the call from a millionaire, right? If they're not getting a call from a millionaire, it's like, well, if you find a way to get rich, how come you're not rich already? Right? So as you become a network marketing professional, you're going to find that you use the indirect and super indirect approach much more. And that doesn't matter. It doesn't mean that the direct approach doesn't work. It just means that you'll use different type of approach for different type of people. So let's go through what Eric has here. So the direct approach, and remember, you have to have done the step 1 and step 2. So step 1 is be in a hurry, and step 2, the compliment before you do the approach. So for direct approach here, when you told me that you were sick and tired of your job, were you serious or were you just kidding around, right? And just wait for that answer. And then after, you can say, great, I think I find a way for you to get, that solved. So I think I find a way for you to get out of that, right? So you just have to use the situation that the person that you know about them. Now, another one is, I think I found a way for us to really boost our cash flow. Or I found something I really need, you really need to see. I love this one. I'm launching a new business and I really want you to take a look at it. Or when I thought of people who could make an absolute fortune with a business I just found, I thought of you. Are you still looking for a job or for a different job? I found a way for both of us to start a great business without any risk, without jeopardizing any of our current situation, right? Or if I told you there was a way to increase your cash flow without jeopardizing what you're already doing, would you be interested? Or I've teamed up with a company that is expanding in the area. So I've teamed up in a company that is expanding in Calgary. I've teamed up in the company that is expanding in Lagos. It doesn't matter where, right? Anywhere in the world. I find something exciting and you're one of the first person I've called. Also, when I thought of quality people that I really enjoy working with, I thought of you. Will you be open to hearing what I'm doing? Or let me ask you something. Would you be open to diversify your income? Let me ask you a question, just off the record here, right? If there were a business you could start working part-time from your home that could replace your full-time income, would that interest you? Now, I love this word, off the record. Another word, hypothetically speaking, that kind of take the salesman out, right? Let me ask you a question, just off the record here, right? It's very, very powerful. As you know, I've been in the designer profession, but because of sorry, this one it would be more like, as you know, I've been in landscape company, working full time, but with all the times that I'm there, and the low income I'm making, I've decided to diversify my income. After considering my option, I identified the very best way to make it happen, right? So you just want here to insert your occupation and a negative factor from where you're at, right? Or I find an exciting business and together, I really truly believe that it would be something we could do and that 1 + 1 might add up to 10, right? This one from Randy Gage, With your skill, you could make 100,000 a month in a business I've just started. This work good with when you are respected by the prospect. Or this one, this is the call you've been waiting for your whole life, right? So those are for the warm market. For the cold market, you want to go more with like, have you ever thought of diversifying your income? Or do you keep your career option open? Do you plan on doing what you're doing for the rest of your life, the rest of your career? You can follow any of these cold market scripts or any variation with the following. I have something that might interest you. Now isn't the time, right? You're in a hurry. Now isn't the time to get into it, but, and then you follow up with your invite. Now, the indirect script is another powerful tool to help people get past the initial resistance, and understanding your opportunity. This approach is best used when you're just getting started and it's simply asking people to help you or to guide you. So I use this approach extremely and with great success when I first started myself. And because of the lack of credibility, I mean, Eric was 22 and it was my first network marketing, so I didn't know anything. I couldn't get, I didn't have a lot of direct approach either. So I learned how to play myself down and play up the prospect ego. And it works incredible, I tell you, if you use it from time to time, right? So a warm market for the indirect approach would go like, I've just started a new business and I'm scared to death. Before I get going, I need to practice on someone friendly. Would you mind if I practice on you? Who would say no? A good friend of yours would definitely say yes, right? Or I'm thinking of getting started with a business. I can run from home. Would you help me check it out and see if it's real? Or I find a business I'm really excited about, but what do I know? You have much more experience. Would you look at it for me if I made it simple, if I made it easy, and let me know if you think I'm making the right move? Right? Or a friend of me told me the best thing I could do when starting a business is to have people I respected to take a look at it and give me some guidance. Would you be that person? Would you be willing to do that for me if I made it simple? Right? People would say that, yes, for that. So for the negative and cynical people, you can say, I've started a business and really need someone to help me poke holes in it. Nothing get past you. Would you be willing to examine it for me? Right? Now, for the cold market here, I find that this approach doesn't really work well because it doesn't really make sense for you to show this much respect for someone you just met. So really, that one is more for the direct and the super indirect approach would work best. Now, for the super indirect script, this is incredibly powerful and play a number of psychology level here. This is a networking approach that asks the prospect if they know someone else that might benefit of your business. So I use this all the time with great success as well. So for the warm market, it sounds like this business is clearly not for you. Just again, off the record, this business is clearly isn't for you. But let me ask you, who do you know that is ambitious, money motivated, or would be excited about the idea of adding more cash flow into their life, right? Or just off the record, who do you know that might be looking for a strong business that they could run from their home? Or who do you know that has hit a wall with a business and might be looking for a way to diversify their income? Do you know any sharp people who live in Alberta? Yes, great. Could I get their names and email address if you have it? I have a business that I'm expanding in that area and I want to see if they think it would succeed there. It would be successful there, right? Do you know anyone involved in a serious job search? Or I work with a company that's expanding in your area, and I'm looking for some sharp people that might be interested in some additional cash flow. Do you know anyone who might fit that description? So in the most cases, they're going to ask you for more information before they give you any names. And behind that is the request. They're doing that by curiosity. You're kind of striking the ego here, like, give me more. I want to know. So when they ask you for more information, uh, just respond like this. Well, that makes sense. That makes sense. You'll want to know about it before you refer me to some of your contacts. And from there, you just move to the next step, which I'm just about to bring. Now, again, for the cold market, it's exactly the same than the warm market for the super indirect. So just use the script above for the cold market. So step 5 is if I, would you. Now, this is really, really powerful because you're not going to offer you're not going to offer your third-party tool unless they agree to do something in return. This has been the secret weapon here for the very, very longest time. And the beauty with GWT is that we have a tour link that you can send. You have a lookbook that you can give. You have so many accolades. There's so many third-party credibility with GWT, and that is the key to bring the credibility, a third-party tool. So some example here would be, again, if I something with you. So for example, if I give you a DVD that lays out all the information in a professional way, would you watch it? Or if I give you a magazine, something that they can review, would you read it? If I give you a link to an online presentation that's explained everything, would you click on it and watch it? Right? Now, if you've done the first 3 steps properly, the answer here will be yes, for sure. So if they ask for more information first, just respond with, I understand that you want more information, but all of what you're looking for is on that link that I want to send you. And the fastest way for you to really understand what I'm talking about will be for you to review that material. So if I were to give you that link, would you review it? Right? If they say no, they won't review it, then thank them for their time and move on. Also, review your step 1 to 3 to see what you could have done better. Do not give your link or your material to somebody that says no. If you do, you're just going to bring down the value of what you're doing, right? So the step 5 is now you want to get a commitment, right? Because step 4, you ask them if they were to watch something, but you haven't got any time commitment. So here, when you can ask, when do you think you could watch that link? Or when do you think you could read this lookbook for me? For sure. So again, when do you think you could watch the link for sure? So don't suggest a time for them. Ask the question and have them give you the time. If it's not definitive, I'll try to do it sometime, then tell them something like this, you know what, I don't want to waste your time or mine. Why don't we just try to lock in a time you'll have seen it for sure, right? So the key here is to get a yes a second time, because the first time on step 4, you get, yeah, for sure, I'll watch it, right? If I were to send you a link, would you watch it? Yeah, for sure. But now you want to get a second yes. You want to have that yes, that commit to the time. So they're saying yes to step 4, and if they say yes to step 4 and no commitment, then just move on, right? So step 6 is you want to confirm. And how you do that is, if they tell you that they'll watch the DVD by Tuesday night, your response should be like, oh, so if I call you Wednesday morning, you'll have watched it for sure, right? If they say they can listen to it on Thursday morning, your response will be, so if I call you sometime on Thursday afternoon, you have watched it for sure, right? So you always want to follow up on the next day. The key to step 6 is they're now say yes a third time to follow through what they said they were going to do. So now they've set a real appointment with you for the future. Step number 7 is you get a time and a number, right? So what's the best number and time for me to call you? Now they've said yes 4 times, and the chance they'll follow through has been increases from less than 10% to over 80%. And that's huge. You want people to see and take a look of your business, right? So again, here, as it says, please put the appointment in place. You won't forget it. So make sure that you write down when to follow up, because you have to follow up, right? And step number 8 is get out the phone. Pretty simple. So remember, you're in a hurry, right? Step 1. So best thing to say here is something like, great, we'll talk then. Gotta go. So those are the 8 steps. And it's the hottest scripts here in MLM that you can have to actually have your roadmap, your GPS. So what Eric has done is pretty brilliant. He's actually put some example here for us. So let's go through some example. So example number 1, a person hates their job using the direct approach. So step number 1, you're in a hurry. So, hey, I don't have a lot of time to talk right now, but it was really important I reach you. Listen, you're one of the most financial, intelligent person I know, and I always respect that of you. When you told me you really didn't like your job, were you serious about it, or were you just kidding around? Oh, great. I think I found something for you to create an exit strategy without jeopardizing your family. Now I have a CD that you have to listen to. It describes everything in a professional way, how it works. If I give you the CD, would you listen to it? Great. When do you think you could listen to it for sure? Oh, Tuesday. So if I were to call you on Wednesday morning, you'll have reviewed it for sure, right? All right, I'll check back with you then. What's the best number and time for me to call you? You write it down. Great, we'll talk then. Gotta go. Have a great day. Done. Pretty simple, right? Here's another example. Now, this person is to a good friend with an indirect approach. So step 1, be in a hurry. So, hey, I'm running out the door right now. I needed to talk to you real quick. You've always been so supportive of me, and I appreciate that so much. Now, I just started a new business, and I'm scared to death. Before I get going, I need to practice on someone friendly. Would you mind if I practice on you? Oh, great, thanks. Now, if I were to give you a DVD that lays out everything, all the information in a professional way, would you watch it? Oh, thank you. So when do you think you could watch it for sure? Thursday? Oh, so if I call you Friday morning, you'll have reviewed it for sure, right? Fantastic. What's the best number and time for me to call you? Great. We'll talk then. Gotta go. Have a good day. Bye. Pretty simple, 30 seconds. Script number 3, example number 3, to a highly successful person using an indirect approach. So here again, step 1, you're in a hurry. So I know you've been busy and I have a million things going on too, but I'm glad I caught you. You've been widely successful and I've always respected the way you've done business. Now, I've recently started a new business and I'm looking for some sharp people, and it's clearly not for you, but I wanted to ask, who do you know that is ambitious, money motivated, and would be excited about an idea of adding more cash flow into their life? Okay, I understand that you want to know more before you recommend me people. Now, I have a DVD that would explain exactly what I'm doing and the kind of people I'm looking for. It's pretty brief. If I send you one, would you review it for me? I know you're extremely busy, and I'm so grateful for your help. Thank you for agreeing to look at it. When do you know that you could view it for me, for sure? Okay, so if I call you after that, you'll have a review it for sure, right? All right, I'll check back with you then. When's the best time to call you? Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it so much. Now, I gotta go. I'll talk to you later. Talk to you then. The last one here, example number 4, is to a cold market prospect, who's done a cold market, who's done a great job selling you, a pair of shoes, right? So now isn't the time to get into this, and I have to go, but you're super sharp. And I happen, excuse me, and I happen to be looking for some sharp people. Do you plan on doing what you're doing now for the rest of your career? No, right? Well, I have something that might interest you. I mean, now isn't the time to get into it, but I have a DVD that explains it in a great details. If I were to give it to you, would you watch it? When do you think you could watch it for sure? So if I call you after that, you'll have reviewed it for sure, right? All right, I'll check back with you then. What's the best number for me to reach you and what time? Great. Here it is. Thanks again for the excellent service you just gave me, and I'll talk to you soon. Right? So these are really, really simple and very short. Now, you're probably feeling the flow here that I'm using. Obviously, these are possible variation for different kinds of prospect, but I hope these examples really help you to understand how everything comes together. In a term of scripts, it's best that you get the basic concept down and don't focus too hard on the exact script. Life doesn't work that way. But if you learn to let them know you're in a hurry, compliment them, invite the best way possible, and pass on a tool, with the if I would you, confirm through the process that he described here, and get off the phone, you'll be fine, right? And remember, in recruiting, there's no good or bad experience. There's only learning experience. And on your journey to become a network marketing professional, the best thing that can happen is to develop that skills to recruit on demand in any situation. Then you never have to worry about being lucky, right? It's all about practice. So my recommendation for you is to find a partner, maybe someone in your team or your upline, and role play. Go through it over and over and over again until it sounds like you're saying it and not reading it. I mean, I'm sure that you noticed that. I mean, I read it today, but I read it with enthusiasm, with energetic, right? So if you call someone and you're all slow and low and kind of boring, right? There's a big difference for people. When you're reading a script, then people can tell. And when you practice and you become more confident, then it can come more out of your own self. So my suggestion and my wish would be for you to go out there and practice. Find someone to practice with, read those scripts. You can find these online very easily. I had it with Eric Worre, but I know he put them online. So that will really bring your chance, as we said earlier, of 80% higher for people who want to listen to you. So ladies and gentlemen, our time is up for today. So I want to thank you for your time, and I hope that you use these scripts for your success. Now, if you have any questions, you can always message me, let me know. Otherwise, have a great morning, a great afternoon, or a great evening, wherever you are in the world. And I thank you for this Monday evening, and we will talk to you later. Goodbye.